Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's Board of Zoning Appeals hearing. Before we begin, let me introduce some members of town government that act as advisors to this board. To my left is Simone Freeman, she's Deputy Town Attorney. To her left is Matt Collado, Principal Planner with the Planning Department. To his left is Liam Trotta, who is Environmental Planner with the Planning Department. To his left is Sabrina Butita, a Senior Environmental Analyst with the Department of Environment and Waterways. You're here this evening seeking relief from the town zoning ordinance. New York State statute requires that any town that adopts zoning must also have a Board of Zoning Appeals to act as a relief valve, so that persons can seek relief without the expense of legal proceedings. The most common kinds of applications before this board are area variances. Area variances deal with dimensions of lot area, frontage, height, setbacks, and parking reductions. New York State statute mandates that the board must consider the following 5 criteria while evaluating the area variances. When you come to the podium to present your application, please do your best to address these 5 criteria. They're as follows. Whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created. Whether the applicant has other feasible alternatives. Whether the variance is substantial, whether an adverse impact on the environment will be created, and whether the alleged difficulty is self-created. This board also has the authority to grant special exceptions, also known as a special use permit or a conditional use permit. This is a use that is permitted by zoning, but under specific conditions designed to ensure compatibility with the surrounding area and the overall zoning plan. If all of the general and specific requirements are met, this board must approve the application. If they are not, this board must deny it, unless they request variances. At that point, the 5 considerations and balancing test must be applied. The board has the power to impose reasonable conditions that relate to the variances. Regarding procedures, cases will be called in the order that they were advertised. When your case is called, please come forward, submit your affidavits and mailing receipts, to Mr. Collado or Mr. Trotta, and then you'll be given the opportunity to explain to the board why your variance is needed. Again, please address the 5 considerations. After the applicant is done speaking, all interested parties will be given one opportunity and only one opportunity to be heard. Please organize your thoughts and keep your remarks factual, related to the case, as well as variances being sought. Then we will ask the applicant to come back to the podium to address your concerns. The board will then close the case and reserve decision. After all hearings are closed, the board will review the cases and decide some of them, and others will be reviewed at a later date. There are 3 ways to find out about your case. The first is you can wait until after the public hearing, but there is no guarantee we'll act on your case this evening. The second way is to check the website after 11 a.m. tomorrow, and the third way is applicants can wait and be notified by mail. After the case is closed, no additional information or testimony may be submitted. I don't think we have any adjournments tonight?
No.
So, Matt, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. The first case is case 19510, Greg Zariadis. The location is 59 Twin Oaks Drive in Kings Park. It's on the south side of Twin Oaks Drive, 841 feet east of Heather Drive. Property is owned R15. The request is a variance to reduce the minimum setback of a 6-foot retaining wall from the property line from 6 feet to 0. That's wall A. Reduce the minimum setback of a 6-foot retaining wall from the property line from 6 feet to 0. That's wall C. Reduce the minimum setback of a 6-foot fence from a retaining wall from 6 feet to 0. That's wall C. And increase the height of a 6-foot fence on top of a 6-foot retaining wall from 6 to 12. That would be wall C for a proposed 6-foot vinyl fence and proposed retaining walls.
Hi, my name is Greg Zahariadis. I'm the owner of 59 Twin Oaks Drive over in Kings Park. My name's Greg Zahariadis, and I'm the owner of 59 Twin Oaks Drive. I'd like for Ralph to speak on behalf of me.
Sure, thank you. Just state your name and spell your last name and give us your address, please.
Ralph Michelle, M-I-C-H-E-L-E. It's 255 West Main Street, Smithtown, New York.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we did create the issue because we're asking to cut into the backyard. He does have steep slope, but he loses a significant amount of his rear yard. I think that's it, right? Yeah. Yeah, so, the amount of slope in the backyard does cut down half of the amount of yard space he can use. So what we're proposing is that we can put up a 6-foot-high retaining wall up against the rear of the property line, coming about 6.5 feet off the back, and then be on the side of the property at 0. The existing neighbor's fence would be on the one side, and we would be proposing put another fence on the other. It would then step down as with grade, so that way it would, on the side yards, it would then drop in height. So on page 2, it shows the profile for each of the all 3 walls. On the second one there, go to the next page. Do you have not page 2? There's a second page that shows the retaining wall heights and then the retaining wall A, B, and C. So you can see that it does step with the grade. So typically in the past, 6 foot high is the highest you guys are allowed to go. It works out in this position. That's why I went 6.5 feet off the back of the property line, because I know the restrictions of the town, and there's no reason to go 6.5 feet and just to gain an extra foot in the back. So this achieves for him to get a flat rear yard to use for the kids to play in, and basically, I don't think it's too substantial in what we're asking for. It really just, it's in the backyard. No one's going to really see it other than the neighbors in their rear yard. And once the brush is all cleaned out and cleaned up, it would actually look much better.
Anyone on the board have any questions?
No, thank you.
No? Planning?
Yeah, my only comment is if it's possible or feasible to, maybe set back the 2 walls on the sides, maybe 2 feet or so, just to kind of, have a setback from the neighbor. I did refer it to the engineering department. They thought it was pretty straightforward, but they just had the same comment about, is there enough room behind the wall? That 0-foot setback doesn't leave enough room, so that's basically
So
it.
one of the things we've run into in the past is when it goes to 0, it's very difficult for you to maintain it because you would have to go onto the neighbor's property to do anything. Is it feasible to set them back at least some so that there's some room between the property line?
I mean, would you be okay? It would be a temporary issue. I mean, if you're taking the dirt and removing it, you can then take the dirt and put it back. It's not like it's wooded area, so it's not like we're disturbing grass or there's one fence on the one side, and we'd be putting a fence on the other. So if we have to dig on our property line to put that retaining wall in, and then basically, you really can do most of this work. It's only a self-supporting wall. There's no concrete needed. So you can dig straight down, put the wall up, and tear it towards the property line, and then any dirt that does fall off, you could theoretically put it back on, and you'd be fine.
Right, but how do you, down the road, neighbors change. Sometimes you get a neighbor that may not want you to come onto their property. If there's anything that needs to be done down the road, how do you do that?
So the dirt would still be on their side of the property.
So the dirt
On
and
their
the
side,
neighbors,
it still stay there.
and then what about the other side?
That's our side. And then the same thing on the other side. So you're basically creating a U, right? And the dirt is coming down right now on both sides. So now all you're going to do is carve out like a piece, basically cutting a piece of cake, right? So the side there is still sitting intact, pretty much because the dirt's been there for however long. It's compacted down, not going to go anywhere.
Right.
You can basically chop that right straight down, and the wall is going to stack up against it, and then basically there'll be a little bit of a void, but you're talking inches. So any dirt on their backside that would then drop down, you can essentially refill on that backside if you need to. But their neighbor's dirt is essentially holding that wall in place. So if the neighbor then wants to do something, then they can then do the same thing on reverse. Once they take the dirt out, then stack it up, and then you'd have 2 walls touching each other. They're self-supporting stacking walls, so you don't have to dig down anything past 0 lot line. Yes.
That dirt, the neighbor's dirt's not gonna be holding the wall up. You're just saying it because it's gonna be there. You're just saying that.
It's a self-supporting wall.
If they remove the dirt, it's not gonna cause the wall to collapse, is it? 'Cause it's
So
in
2
there.
things can happen. Either you built it so it's self-supporting, or you build it so it berms into the dirt. Either way. If the dirt wants to be there to support it, great. If you want to make it self-supporting, you can do it. It's not taking much dirt anyway. It's the back wall that we concern about. That's got the pressure coming down, right? So that's never going to change. But let's say the neighbor wants to remove their dirt, and we just build those 2 side walls as they're tiny. So they're self-supporting with almost no weight behind them. So yeah, it would be either way you want to build it, would be fine. we can basically redesign it so that way they're straight up, support themselves. If the dirt, and then basically if the neighbor ever wants to take their dirt out, or if that runs off and starts to erode after a while, you have a nice view of, you know, the sidewall, because it's finished block on all four sides.
All right, Sabrina, did you have anything?
No, thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to be heard on this application? There being none, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, case closed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
The next case is case 19511, Jessica Cochiola. Location is 66 Hayrick Lane in Comac. It's on the north side of Hayrick Lane, 315 feet west of Rye Place. Property is owned R10. The request is a variance to increase the max permitted paved surface in the front yard from 25% to 37% for existing over paving.
Hi, good evening. I would say that the driveway in question poses no undesirable change. Oh, sorry, let me start with that. Jessica Cocciola, C-O-C-C-H-I-O-L-A, 66 Hayrick, owner.
And do you have the affidavits of mailing and posting?
Yep,
Can
I
you-
have all of it.
Yeah, could you please bring them up? Thanks.
Okay, let's try again.
Start.
Are we good there? Yes.
Okay. So the driveway is existing, so I would say it has no undesirable change. It's consistent with the neighborhood aesthetic. It was an insignificant or a non-substantial percentage of being overpaved and has been there for 20 years and has caused no issues.
Okay. Anyone on the board have any questions?
No, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Matt?
No thanks.
Sabrina?
No, thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to be heard on this application? There being none, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next case is case 19512, Christine Kaplitz. Location is 119 Grandview Lane in Smithtown. It's on the north side of Grandview Lane, 396 feet east of Laurel Drive. Property is owned R21. The request is a variance to reduce the minimum side yard setback from 16 feet to 12 feet, reduce total side yard setback from 34 feet to 24 feet for a proposed two-story dwelling with an attached garage and covered porch.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Christine Kapelitz, owner of 119 Grandview Lane.
Can you pull that a little closer?
119 Grandview Lane. And this is Scott Young, our architect, and he's going to present for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you. Scott Young, Y-O-U-N-G, 24 Segatog Lane, South Setauket, New York, 11720. Before I begin, I've already handed all the paperwork over to Mr. Trotta. I also have letters of support for the surrounding neighbors, if I can submit those to the board for review. Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Go to those and we'll send them back this way.
Good evening. I'm representing Miss Christine Kaplitz for 119 Grandview Lane. Our submission is for a new proposed two-story dwelling with side yard setbacks of 12 instead of the required 16 on one side and I believe 16 on the other side as well, or 16 and 18, excuse me. We're planning to reduce them from 12 on 12. We have zoning precedents for the neighboring lot, which I have that case. Case number is
Guys,
One
can you keep it
three-
down in the audience, please? Thanks.
Case number is 13586. It was a previously approved zoning board from 2002 with both side yard setbacks at 12. This is the neighboring property, so I believe that was 121. This is the neighboring property. Christine was able to purchase this neighboring property a few years back with the hopes of having one of her children be able to purchase it and either develop it, build a brand new house, so she can keep her family close and tight-knit. So with that ability happening recently, we were able to take this house down that's had substantial issues with it. So we went through the process of either repairing, replacing, or knocking it down, and the most cost-effective option was to knock it down. The current house that's standing has a side yard setback from the garage at 8.1, and then on the opposite side of 11.9. So we'd actually be increasing both side yard setbacks to 12 even on both sides. Her family is looking to put a nice two-story house up, or a 1.5-story house, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, so they can kind of have their forever home. Ultimately, we're looking for little relaxation for the side yard setbacks, again, in like and character with the neighboring property. I believe the house itself matches the characteristics of the neighborhood. I believe the existing house, I wouldn't say is an eyesore, but is something that needed a lot of love to kind of bring it up to the rest of the neighborhood's appeal. I don't think it's going to have a negative effect of that surrounding lots or any lots in the area. The issue was self-created by us by asking for the side yard setbacks of 12 instead of the proposed. The lot itself is a skinny lot. It's only 75 feet as an 21, instead of, I believe, the 100 or whatnot is the initial. So we're already at a disadvantage in that manner. But ultimately, with what we're proposing, we think it's going to be a nice addition to the neighborhood. It's going to be like and characteristics of the neighborhood, and it should be, something that her family can enjoy from years to come.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is anyone on the board that have any questions on this application?
No, thank you.
No? Planning?
No, thank you.
Sabrina?
No, thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to be heard on this application? There being none, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Case closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your night.
The next case is George and Katie Koish. The location is 28 Ridgely Road in Smithtown. It's on the east side of Ridgely Road and 196 feet south of Gilbert Avenue. Property is zoned R15. The request is a variance to reduce the minimum front yard setback from 45 feet to 42 feet for a proposed 1,360.5 square foot second floor addition, proposed 616 square foot garage addition, and proposed 288 square foot front portico.
Okay, thank you. We're obviously building our dream home, so we're excited.
Need your name and address.
George Koish, C-O-Y-S-H, 28 Ridgely Road, Smithtown, New York.
Thank you.
So sorry for that. So we're excited. We love the neighborhood, and we're looking to build this house. And we need the 3-foot setback from the street to build the portico and the garage specifically. And this will make the neighborhood beautiful. We have the ugly house in the block, so to say, so we're looking forward to making it beautiful. It's not going to cause a negative impact on the environment, and we need this variance because of the overall look of the house. If we don't get the portico, the roof line will be odd. It'll look bizarre, and it can't be corrected without this variance.
Anyone on the board have any questions?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Planning?
No thanks.
Sabrina?
thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to be heard on this application? There being none, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening. Mike
The
Garrick
next-
of 18.
Sorry, I'll just.
Sorry.
The next case is case 19514, Michael Garrick. Location is 18 Brewster Avenue in Fort Salonga. It's on the south side of Brewster Avenue, 1,007 feet west of Bread and Cheese Hollow Road. Property is zoned R43. The request is a variance to permit environmentally sensitive lands to be altered for slopes greater than 15% for existing regrading. Reduce the minimum setback of a 4-foot retaining wall from the property line from 4 feet to 0 for existing retaining walls.
Good evening. Mike Garrick. I'm the owner of 18 Brewster Avenue in Fort
A little
Salonga.
louder.
Mike Garrick, G-A-R-I-C-K. I'm the owner of 18 Brewster Avenue in Fort Salonga, and my architect, Paul, will speak to the variance that we're seeking.
Thank you.
It's Paul Curcio, the project manager at Garten Associates, located at 680 Larkfield Road, East Northport.
Could you spell your last name, please?
Curcio.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My client has come before the board today to request relief for grading in an environmentally sensitive land for a steep slope exceeding 15%. We were brought in to help the owner address having a proposed grading plan completed and filed. The adjacent property to the east, located at 20 Brewster, had brought in fill to level out their rear yard and had obtained a grading permit as required. My client had been and the contractor had conversations and had brought in fill onto their property at 18 Brewster, along with the other owner at 16 Brewster Avenue. At the time, the owner and the other adjacent lot did not and were not aware of the steep slope requirement and the sensitive lands, but the existing topography had, prior to any fill being brought in, ranged from 5% to 33%, as shown on our sediment and erosion control plan. The plan had been revised with the date of 3/20/26. After some back and forth discussions with Mr. Riley from engineering, and also the adjacent owner at 16 Brewster had not wanting to take part in any of this action and application for regrading, we've put together a proposed regrading plan to bring the maximum allowed grade of 33% slope to contour the grade back down to the adjacent property. So due to the 33% slope, we are proposing erosion control blankets comprised of straw and seed to be installed to mitigate any erosion. New privacy plantings will be planted along with a fence as to not create any visual eyesores. Again, this was self-created, but we're doing this regrading plan to mitigate any issues down the road. As far as the retaining wall goes, the retaining wall had been there for approximately 20 years when this swimming pool was installed in around 2006, 2007. And if the board has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
So we will see. I just want to make sure I understand correctly. So 16, 18, and 20 all have slopes that go from one end to the other.
Correct.
And I stopped by there today. It appears that from the 20 is the one that's done it, and it stops at their property line. You want to continue the grading through 18 and then put the retaining wall on the property line between 16 and 18?
So there is an existing retaining wall that's by the pool area, but back half of the property, there's no retaining wall. So in lieu of proposing a retaining wall, we were going to slope it down to 33%
Got it.
to, you know,
So the replacement of the retaining wall is that wooden one that's falling down?
well, again, it's going to remain, but there is possible discussion of removing it, so and contouring the grade. So
Okay. We did receive 2 letters in opposition, both from the residents at 18. We're going to make those part of the record. Obviously, you are entitled to get copies of them if you want.
yes, please.
Does anyone else on the board have any questions?
No.
No? Planning?
Yeah, I did forward this to the town engineer, and he basically described the history the same between 1618 and 20 Brewster. They were okay with the plan. They did not know that the wall was kind of in the state that it's in. It looks like it's collapsing, so you probably should replace that. I don't see how that's safe. Did you see the email from the resident? Okay.
No, I did not.
Because we did receive from Stephen Deutschman and Marie Deutschman at 16 Brewster Avenue. I don't know if you want to address those comments.
You- Yeah, we can give you, if you want to just take a look at it.
Take a look at it.
We'll call if
They
anyone else
they
wants to
couldn't
come up.
attend tonight's meeting, but you know I want to make sure their comments are part of the record, and at least you know if you can address them.
We'll make the letter part of the record, but the sum and substance of both letters is they're concerned about erosion, and obviously water migrating from the uphill properties to the downhill properties. Part of the requirement under the town code is that they have to maintain their own water on, as part of your regrading, you would have to make sure that any water stays on that property, so obviously you will do that?
Yes, we will incorporate that as best we can.
Okay. And obviously the town engineer reviews it and inspects it, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, and we'll give you a copy of this letter as well. Sabrina, did you have anything?
Our only comment was that, yes, it should be reviewed by the engineer, town engineer, but it has, so.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to be heard on this application? There being none, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you.
The next case is case 19516, Oswaldo Marquez. The location is 261 Harnard Road in Comac. It's on the southeast corner of Harnard Road and New Highway. Property is owned R43. The request is a variance to reduce the minimum distance from any lot line from 10 feet to 7 feet for an existing 576 square foot metal shed.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Oswaldo Marquez. I'm the owner from 261 Harnard Road, Comac. So the reason is the metal shed is only 3 feet different, was supposed to be at 10 feet. When I bought the house, I bought it with the metal shed over there.
Just use the mic.
Okay. So when I bought the house in January 31st, 2004, 2 years ago, the metal shed was already there. So right now, I try to do all my supposed to be doing with the code.
Okay. Anything else? I went by the site and I noticed that there's another shed right next to that shed.
Yes, it's a small one. I can move it if you have to.
I was going to say, because that one looks even closer to the property line than this one
Okay.
is.
I can move it. That one, let's move it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone on the board have any questions? Planning.
Yeah, the same comments. If you see on the survey there, that's what, or on the screen, any screen, you can see that's where the shed was, which is fine, but if you look at a recent aerial, yeah, so that location is too close to that property line, so.
Yeah, that's the one you said I can move
Yeah,
it.
if you move it back
Yeah,
to
I
where
can
it was
move
on
that
the s-
one,
on
because
that
that's a
s-
move it.
Yeah,
It's
just
a more one only.
back where it was on the survey.
Okay.
That's my only comment.
DEW?
thank you.
Nothing? Anyone in the audience like to be heard on this application? There being none, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next case is case 19515 FB4 Realty LLC and GMF LLC. Location is 200 Town Line Road in Kings Park. It's on the east side of Town Line Road, 2,219 feet south of Old Northport Road. Property is owned light industrial. The request is a modification of a special exception use to permit a trucking station and outdoor storage, and a variance to permit fuel to be stored above ground.
Good evening, Board. Vincent DeCanio, 117 Terry Road, Smithtown, New York. DICANIO.
Mr. DeCanio, are you an officer of FB4, a
Yes,
member of the FB4
a member,
Realty?
yes.
Thank you.
And as the board is familiar, and we agree with the planning department's recommendation, we've been here twice before. It is a permitted use with the special exception, and we were approved in 2018 from this board, and we were then, when we modified it, still for the same use, we came back in 2024, and it was recommended by the planning department that we come back again since we are modifying, although we're still using it as a trucking station as a special exception. And we're building the building, and the ratio actually goes down significantly with the same type of use. The only variance we're asking for is the 2 outside storage tanks, and that's only for it's a rental company, so any equipment that it needed for future rental, it would be used on that. It wouldn't be used for vehicles or any type of fuel in that capacity. And we have any engineering questions, we have H2M, an engineer here, and we also have the tenant, a representative from the tenant.
No. I believe we did get a letter on this one. I believe this had to do with the concern about the above ground storage of fuel. You just want to elaborate a little bit on the safety measures the requirements that are in place under the code for the above ground fuel storage?
Most definitely, it will fully conform. And if it were any detailed engineering question, I'd rather Brian from H2M answer that question, the engineer.
If you want, basically my concern, and you can have him come up, just to say on the record that it will be put into code and that it'll meet all of the safety requirements.
Most definitely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, and it's only 2 small tanks, 500 gallons each.
Okay.
And the other tanks are all insides, but it was required for the 2 diesel fuel outside.
Okay. Did you want to?
Sure.
Just name and address, spell your last name for the record.
Paul Farino, 11 Sound Road, Fort Salonga, New York.
Spell your last name, sorry.
F-A-R-I-N-O.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
So the 2 tanks will be 500 gallons each, double-walled with containment, and also alarm system that will conform to Suffolk County Board of Health. So we will be applying for Suffolk County Board of Health and would be fully approved by that before installing.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that all you had, Mr. DeCanio?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone on the board have any other questions?
No, thank you.
Planning.
We prepared a PAR for the board. They met all the general criteria, and the specific criteria they met with the exception of the fuel above ground. We just had the same concerns really about above ground fuel that you already addressed, and our one condition was being that you're constructing a how big is it? 7,737 square foot maintenance building. It changes the ratio for the outdoor storage, so we just recommended that it be limited to 23 times the gross floor area, which is
Yes.
basically the same amount of outdoor storage you have right now.
And it significantly improved that ratio by more than 50%. By building the building, actually, it's much less of a density problem or a variance question.
Okay.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sabrina.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The application materials state that a permit from the Department of Health for the proposed project will be obtained. We've asked the applicant to provide documentation once the application has been submitted and also provide sanitary flow calculations. We need that information in order to complete our environmental review. Therefore, no decision will be made until we get that information.
Okay. So
Yes,
you're
we
working on
fully
that?
agree. Yes, we have already, and we're filing, in fact, tomorrow morning, and we have whatever was necessary for DEW will be filed and will be submitted to your department this week.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to be heard on this application? Come on up.
Good evening. My name is Somia Shah, S-O-M-I-A. The last name is Shah, S-H-A-H, 48 Peppermint Road. That might have been my letter that you received. I'm not here to restrict any business or operational activity, but I do wanted to raise some concerns that when I first heard that there was above ground fuel tanks being put within 200 feet of my property. So this is not the same as general trucking storage. It brings increased risk of fire, vapor exposure, and environmental contamination. And those risks don't stay contained within property lines. I have a child, and like any parent, my priority is safety. I need to understand where protections are in place, not just in theory, but as in enforceable terms. I do have some questions. Before approaching this modification, I want to know if there are any clear safeguards. What conditions and full transparency are there? So some of my questions are, has any air quality assessments been done within 200 feet of this above ground fuel tanks that are going to be placed? What recovery systems are in place? Do we need to test any water? Is there an evacuation or an emergency plan if things go south with this? Has the local fire department done any risk assessment? Are they aware of it? Have they raised any concerns? So these are some of the questions I have, because it doesn't just impact businesses, but it impacts everyone living within close proximity of these fuel tanks. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anyone else that would like to be heard? Want to come back and just address their concerns?
So, as I said before, we will be applying to Suffolk County
Right
Board
into the mic.
Board of Health, and there will be double wall containment, there will be alarm systems. This is fuel. It is not gasoline, so it's less flammable. I live in Fort Salonga. There is no natural gas. I have 1,000-gallon storage for my house and 500 for my pool heater. This site will only have 1,000 gallons. My personal house, I have 1,500 gallons. So I feel it's really minimal for a concern.
And just for the record, fuel is the same as fuel oil that's
Correct.
in every home.
Correct. Yes.
Well, all homes heating
Yes,
with oil.
so
Okay.
we do not have natural gas in my area, like I said. My personal residence, I have 1,500 gallons. On 14 and a half acres, we are looking to store 1,000 gallons.
Okay, and then one of the things that she brought up was the proximity to her home. The fact that her home is 200 feet from the property may not mean that she's 200 feet from the tanks. Can you just point out on the plan where the tanks are on the plan?
Yes.
So that,
Now, our property abuts the LIPA right-of-way, the PSEG right-of-way, so that's 200 feet. And so from our property line to where the tanks are, Vinny, you want to point to them, or? It's, could be 700 additional feet. Yeah, 700 additional feet off the top of my head.
okay. I just wanted to make that
So
clear that the
700
tanks are
and
not on
200
the...
is 900 feet away from residences.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
I need motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Case closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to bring The next case is case 19477, Louis Matera. Location is 69 Howell Drive in Smithtown. It's on the northeast corner of Howell Drive and Blackman Street. The property is owned R10. The request is a variance to reduce the front yard setback on Blackman Street from 10 feet to 0 feet for an existing 6-foot PVC fence on a corner lot. Permit a fence greater than 4 feet in the required front yard.
Yes.
Yeah, 20th is.
Okay, I'm Lou Matera. I am the owner at 69 Howell Drive. Some 13 years ago, I installed a fence thinking I was complying. I originally applied for a variance, and they told me that I couldn't put a 6-foot fence in my front yard where I wanted to put it, so I put a 4-foot fence in the front, thinking I only had one front property, front to my house. So then I have a 4-foot fence in the front, and then I use the transition piece to go to 6 foot. So about the fence on the side of the house is about half 4 foot, and then the transition, and then to 6 foot. So currently it's well maintained. There is no issue with impact to pedestrians or motorists coming up that portion of Blackman. So there's clear visibility. You can see where the stop sign is and where my fence is in the back there. So I'm looking just to keep the fence where it is. Last time around, there was an issue with somebody having some concern. The second mailer that I sent out seemed to have cleared that up, because that party that had an issue actually came to the house and said he was going to write an email to that effect, stating that he had no concern.
Anyone on the board have any questions?
No, thank
Oh,
you.
thank
Planning.
No, thank you.
Sabrina?
No, thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to be heard on this application? There being none, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
The next case is case 19497, Kit Fung Cheng. Location is 3 Blackwell Road in Esconset. It's on the north side of Blackwell Road, 153 feet west of Lawrence Drive. Property is owned R10. The request is a variance to reduce the minimum setback of a 3-foot retaining wall from the property line from 3 feet to 0 for existing retaining walls. Reduce the minimum setback of a 6-foot fence from a 3-foot retaining wall from 3 feet to 0 for a proposed 6-foot PVC fence.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. My name is Kit Fong Chang. Last name is Cheng. On 3 Blackwell Road in Wisconsin, New York.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chen Deng Gao. Last name is GAO. 3 Blackwell Road, Wisconsin, New York 11767.
GAO.
You got it.
We want to do a 6-foot fence on the property line in the back of the yard, 3 to 0, no setback for a retaining wall and 6-foot fence. If we need to take a couple of the railroad ties off, we will do so to meet the minimum requirement for the fence of the 4 feet. We are sloping the back of the yard down. Our backyard is retaining wall is 6-inch on the left side and 2 feet on the right side of the retaining wall. The reason why we did a retaining wall is to keep water drainage on our own property. Please allow us to keep the 6 feet fence to maintain safety and privacy of my children. There are no negative impact on the neighborhood besides giving everyone their own privacy. We try to be neighborly and have no effect on others. I'm sure our neighbors would enjoy their privacy and landscaping. We will be planting landscapes. We want our children to enjoy our backyard this summer in the pool. They're swimmers, and we want them to keep practicing their skills. Thank you.
We have everything right this time? Okay. Does anyone on the board have any questions?
No, thank you.
Planning.
Yeah, I did meet with the applicant a few times. So yeah, we're basically can proceed with how it was advertised. The 6-foot fence is just gonna run between the wall and the property line, which is what I originally thought they were doing. And I guess if it's needed, you remove one of the ties. I guess there's requirements when it comes to the height of a fence when you have a pool. So shouldn't affect what they're requesting. So that's it.
As long as everybody's on the same page.
Yes.
Sabrina.
No, thank you. No comment.
Is there anyone in the audience who would like to be heard on this case? There being none, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, guys. Have a good evening.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you, everyone.
The next case is case 19504, Columbia Industrial Acquisition Company, LLC. Location of 35 Adams Avenue in Hauppauge. It's on the east side of Adams Avenue, 173 feet south of New Highway. Property is zoned LI. The request is a variance to increase the max building height from 35 feet to 45 feet for a proposed 147,040 square foot warehouse with office. Reduce minimum landscaped area from 18% to 15% of the lot. Reduce minimum front yard landscaped area from 80% to 69% of the lot. Reduce minimum parking from 345 to 185 spaces. Reduce the minimum parking setback from the front property line from 50 feet to 25 feet. Reduce minimum parking setback from rear property line from 6 feet to 5 feet. Increase the max height of a retaining wall from 6 feet to 10 feet. Increase the combined height of a fence on top of a retaining wall from 6 feet to 16 feet. Reduce the minimum setback of a 10-foot retaining wall from property line from 10 feet to 3. We just need the affidavit of posting.
Okay.
Good.
The date?
This is the last one.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the applicant, John Farrell, with the firm of Sonward, Braff, Cascignano. Our offices are at 1300 Veterans Memorial Highway, Suite 100, Hauppauge, New York. With me tonight are Mike Biancanello from Bowler Engineering and Ethan Shikoski from TPD Engineering, as well as Justin Fetter, who is a construction and development manager for the applicant. In case you have any questions that I can't answer, they're here to assist. As this board knows, we were originally supposed to appear on April 14th. We had requested an adjournment due to some comments that we got from the planning department regarding the project. We went back and we revised the plans, and they've been resubmitted. And I'd like to go through first to the changes that we made and the impact that that had on the variances that we're requesting. So the building height request is staying the same. With regard to the minimum landscaped area, we originally requested 18% to 15%. Through the revisions to the plans, we got that up to 17.2%. So now it's only a 0.8% variance. Reduce the minimum front yard landscape area from 80% to 69%. We can delete that entirely. We now have 87.3% landscaping. Reducing the minimum parking from 345 spaces to 185 spaces. The building size was reduced slightly. That brought the number of required spaces down from 345 to 337. We're still providing 185 spaces as was advertised. On the variance to reduce the minimum parking setback to the front street line, we originally were requesting 25 feet. We now have that at 36.5 feet. We actually removed a row of parking on the north side of the property, and we reconfigured that. So now that the parking is along the side yard instead of in the front there where the street kind of curves and narrows down at the front of the property. The next variance can be deleted as well. That was to reduce the parking setback from the rear yard from 6 feet to 5. That's now at 7.5 feet. As far as the retaining wall height, that stays the same. The combined height of the fence on the top of the retaining wall at 15.5 stays the same, but we increased the setback for the retaining wall from it's supposed to be 10 feet or 9.5 feet, and we have 6 feet now instead of 3 feet. So we significantly improved the variance requests, and we were able to delete a few with the assistance of the planning department. As the board knows, the Hauppauge Industrial Park is one of the largest industrial parks in the country. This use that we're proposing is, in my opinion, more in character than what the current use is. Currently, it is improved with 3 one-story buildings that are utilized as television and video transmission equipment. That's not really what the park is known for. What the park is known for is warehousing, storage, manufacturing, those types of uses, and that's exactly what we're proposing here this evening. There are a number of approvals that the board has granted over the years that support some of the variances, and I'll go through those as we get to them. But I think the project is certainly in character with the community. At this point, I'm going to bring my traffic expert up to give a little bit of testimony regarding the parking variance. I know that that's a pretty big number, so we wanted to make sure that the board has the information it needs to make a decision on that. So Ethan Shikoski.
Good evening, Ethan Shikoski with TPD Engineering. That's SCHUKOSKE. I'm a professional engineer in the state of New York and a professional traffic operations engineer. We evaluated the proposed development in terms of traffic and parking. Obviously, it's an established use within the Hauppauge Industrial Park. Not much change in terms of traffic generation to the facility. Certainly nothing that would cause any impact to the adjacent roadways. When we looked at parking, First we note that this type of development typically is more tenant driven. It's more driven by, whatever tenant is going to sign a lease into that development. And of course, they're aware of the number of parking stalls and loading stalls are available, as opposed to some other uses which may have more volatility. However, we did evaluate the data published by the Institute of Transportation Engineers in terms of parking generation, as we typically do. We looked at a standard warehouse tenant, which generally has a fairly low parking demand. We found that on average a max demand of only 53 park stalls at a development such as this, which is about 30% of the stalls that are being provided. We also looked at sort of other data points, a higher demand potential tenant. We looked at the 85th percentile of the available data. We found that produced parking demand of 159, which is about 86% of the available parking supply. So still plenty of parking to accommodate this type of tenant.
And what type of use was that for?
That was for a warehousing tenant.
Okay.
Which includes
Just a
some
more
light
intense warehouse?
industrial and light manufacturing.
Okay.
So with that, based on our review of the site, we expect there'll be plenty of parking to accommodate demand. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
So there is no tenant per se yet? This is
My understanding is this is a speculative
Okay.
development. Yeah.
So you wouldn't know what the demand would be until that?
No, but like I said, we looked at sort of an average, and then we looked at sort of a higher demand based on available data. And in either case, we think there's enough based on the current market.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone have any questions for the traffic engineer? Planning?
Yeah, so just John pretty much covered it. We did, talk with the applicant. They were able to address a lot of the concerns we had. Most importantly, the front yard setback for parking. We kind of wanted to, increase that and maintain, feasible some of that landscaping that's in the front there. The other comment I had to do with the retaining wall in the back, if it could be some sort of, gravity block, stamped concrete, something that's, pleasing to look at, because it will be facing the neighbor to the rear. They'll be looking at that, so we want to make sure that it looks nice, possibly be screened as well. And that's pretty much all the comments I had. It did go before the County Planning Commission. They approved it with comments. We did forward those comments to you guys, I believe. That's pretty much it.
Sorry, I
no,
know you
that's
probably
okay.
weren't done.
I'm sorry?
You weren't, were you done or?
No, I had just a few more points. Just the building is a spec building right now. It can accommodate one tenant, or it can accommodate up to 4 tenants. They do have the ability to cut it up and give it to different tenants. They've done a lot of market research in the area, and the building that they're proposing, they're finding to be more marketable than, marketable for them. To get good quality tenants that are, going to hopefully stay long term and provide a benefit to the industrial park. I don't know if the board has any questions about anything specific on the application, but I think the retaining wall, we can certainly work with the aesthetics of the retaining wall. We understand that it's going to have, some degree of impact on the neighbor at the lower end of the property. But the retaining wall is definitely necessary to put the truck bays in so we can make the maneuverability and get the trucks in and out of the site. So if the board has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I guess my question would be, on the Adams Avenue frontage, there's a substantial amount of mature vegetation there. Is that staying, going?
They're going to preserve the existing vegetation to the maximum extent possible. When it's necessary, they will fill it in with landscaping to enhance the buffer and the screening.
Okay. All right, and then my only other concern would be same thing with the retaining wall. This board may condition it that you put some plantings down there, which I'm sure you were going to do anyway.
No, that's absolutely fine. That's not an issue at all.
Anyone on the board have any questions?
No.
Matt, that was it for you?
Yep.
Sabrina?
No, thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to be heard on this application?
There with
There
me.
being no one, I'll entertain a motion to close.
Second. So moved.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, you too.
I believe that's it for our new cases. You guys want to jump in, Matt? Keep going? Patrick, you want us to just keep going? He's good. Cinco de Mayo, we move. Yes, Taco Tuesday. All right. You ready, Adrian?
Yeah.
Okay. Case number 19510, Greg Zahariadis.
On case 19510, I'll make a motion to approve the application as presented.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Case 19511, Jessica Cacciola.
On case 19511, I'll make a motion to approve the application as presented.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Case 19512, Christine Capelletz.
On case 19512, I'll make a motion to approve the application as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Case 19513, George and Katie Koish.
On case 19513, I'll make a motion to approve the application as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Case 19514, I believe we have comments from DEW.
Put them on the record that I recommended town and engineer review, which.
Okay. On the merits?
On case 19514, I'll make a motion to approve the application as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Do you want to condition that with the wall being replaced?
That was not part of it, or I thought
There's
they,
a setback of a 4-foot retaining wall from the property line from 4 feet to 0 for the existing retaining wall. That wall should probably be replaced.
okay, so
Condition
is
it to-
everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
I thought it was, yeah.
I thought it was getting replaced.
To replace?
What was it, to 2 feet?
They mentioned they weren't going to do it at this time.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. I think it's that. It should be, but you.
So is everyone okay with adding the condition that this is with the understanding that the existing retaining wall is being replaced?
Yeah, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be replaced?
Okay.
Okay. Just want me to say it again? That with the condition that the existing retaining wall be replaced?
Second.
Motion and second on the condition. All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
All right, so approved with the condition. 5-0. You guys good over there?
Yes.
Case 19516, same thing, I think we need a condition on this one, that they're relocating that shed.
The small shed, right?
Located.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, Adrian.
On case 19516, I'll make a motion to approve the application as presented with the condition that the small shed be moved back 2 feet? Is that what I'm asking?
Into compliance.
In compliance?
Setback, yeah.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0 with condition. Case 19515, no action. Case 19477, Louis Matera.
On case 19477, I'll make a motion to approve the application as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Case 19497, Kit Fong Cheng.
On case 19497, I'll make a motion to approve the application as presented.
Second?
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 19504, we need a secra.
Okay, on case 19504, I'll make a motion to approve the unlisted neg deck.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, secra's approved 5-0. Now on the merits.
All right, I guess I'll have to read each one there separately.
Yep.
Variance to increase the maximum building height from 35 feet to 45 feet for proposed.
There you go.
Conditions were it's what we spoke about, but.
Good, oh, thank you so
read
much.
them before you.
Okay. Variance in maximum building height from 35 feet to 45 feet be approved. Reduce minimum landscape area from 18% to 15%. Approve only to 17%. Reduce the minimum front yard landscaping area from 80% to 69% be denied. Reduce the minimum parking from 345 spaces to 185 spaces be approved. Reduce the minimum parking setback from the front property line from 50 feet to 25 feet. Approved to 36 feet with conditions. Reduce the minimum parking setback from rear property line from 6 feet to 5 feet be denied. Increase the maximum height of a retaining wall from 6 feet to 10 feet be approved with conditions. Reduce the maximum height of a vent on top of retaining wall from 6 feet to 16 feet, approved with conditions. Reduce the minimum setback of 10 feet retaining wall from property line from 10 feet to 3, be approved to 6 feet. Conditions. The applicant shall limit regarding within the front yard to the minimum extent necessary in order to preserve the existing vegetation along Adams Avenue. Number 2, the retaining wall shall consist of gravity blocks, stamped concrete face, or a similar material as determined by the Board of Site Plan Review and shall be screened along the east side of the wall.
Are you good with those conditions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The last one that you.
Notes, parking requires reduce from 345 to 337 spaces due to the increase in building size. Retaining wall, red brick, decon on.
Those are just my
Yeah,
notes.
that's
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then we'll put something in the approval letter that it's per the revised plan
Okay.
dated, I don't know the date off the top of my head, but we'll add that.
Everyone okay with those conditions?
Yep.
Yeah. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion partially carried with conditions, 5-0. All right, now for the back. Let's look at what we got. Okay, do that. So this is 10th of 25. We're going back a bit.
So, what was this last year?
430.
Am I missing something here?
What?
This was the one they were looking, this is Jacob Levy.
Mm-hmm.
He came in the other day, we asked for revised floor plans that were more accurate than the ones that he submitted, because the ones he originally submitted didn't match the layout of the house, so he submitted revised ones. I reviewed them with the planning director, and they seem accurate enough. I mean, they're not prepared by like a licensed architect, but it seemed to match what was there. And it still met the requirement where the square footage of the temporary living quarters didn't exceed, I believe it was 600 square feet, so it was fine. I believe they were looking for 300. I don't have the PAR in front of me, but it was under the amount.
Okay, so they meet all of the requirements, so it's
Yeah,
a
they meet-
special exception.
Yeah.
Sabrina, do you have
Our
comments?
comments were old regarding the needed health department, which they've since submitted an application.
Okay.
So,
All right, so on the merits, this is a special exception, and they meet the criteria, so we must approve, so.
Yep. On case 19332, I'll make a motion to approve the application as presented.
I don't know who was here.
Oh, hold on.
610, I guess.
610 would have been myself, John, Adrian, and maybe John.
Okay.
I
I didn't
don't-
bring a thing because I thought we were done with that stuff.
I remember this case.
Do you? Okay. We'll vote and you can check.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to make a motion, Adrian?
Oh, I thought I just did.
Or make it again.
On case 19332, I'll make a motion to approve the application as presented.
Second?
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries 4-0.
And there's that one last one. We didn't highlight it. It's that 19501 Alexander Daniela Ketsis. You guys were gonna go out and look. That's the fence on the cul-de-sac.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Gray fence?
That was from last meeting.
Right.
Can you,
I
do
don't
you
have
have
the
that
paper here,
agenda?
but
Yes, it was the last meeting. I just want to make sure we had, because I didn't print out the
Okay.
page, but we
What
can
was
pull
the
up.
case number?
We can pull up the request. It was case 19501.
Oh, so that was 2 meetings ago. It was adjourned from the previous meeting?
This one was
Yeah, got it.
variance to reduce the front yard setback from lot line on Bradley Court from 10 feet to 0 for an existing 6-foot vinyl fence. Reduce front yard setback from 40 feet to 3 feet for an existing 100-square-foot vinyl shed. Permit accessory structure in the required front yard on Bradley Court. Permit a fence greater than 4 feet in the required front yard. And we could pull up the plan if you want to.
You got your notes?
I'm looking for, what did 414?
414.
Yeah.
We heard it at the end, because it was adjourned from March 24th.
That's one with the nurse next door. I don't find it. Yeah, I have no problem.
What do you want?
You.
Yep, that was it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, the idea was, my notes were that the neighbors objected to the fence and the shed.
And we all went out and looked at it?
Yep, we all viewed.
Did anyone have a problem with it?
No, they're all PVCs all around there. Matter of fact, there's another house across the street with a shed
Same.
right next to the fence.
Right.
Okay, you want to make a motion?
On case 19501, I'll make a motion to approve the application as presented.
Second?
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. So that's 414. Okay, now we have some on the back. All right, so somebody want to put us into executive session? We need a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
And I second the motion.
Motion and second.